What's up, welcome back to Nowstalgia. Dave here with a review of Predator, Killer of Killers, the new animated anthology film out on Hulu. The sixth Predator film, eighth overall if you count the Alien crossovers. This is also the second film from director Dan Trachtenberg following 2022's Prey. And Trachtenberg will be back helming Predator Badlands, releasing later this fall, which will be getting a theatrical release after Prey infamously was direct to Hulu. Killer of Killers, though, makes a lot of sense on the animated side of things to be a streaming release and really feels like a nice piece of, lore building for fans and keeping the franchise going. I think this was a really fun streaming drop. Predator Killer of Killers is a lot of fun for Predator fans. There's fun Predator lore and Easter eggs here for the faithful, but simply put, this is a action-forward Predator story. 3 distinct tales that end up connecting by the end. Rotoscope style animation fits the series like a glove because this is just pulpy and violent as we come to expect from the franchise. A Predator versus a Viking, a Predator versus a ninja, and a Predator versus a World War II pilot. All 3 of these stories work on their own, and the build-up also is pretty satisfying. The animation also provides an opportunity for a lot of creativity and a grand scale that we haven't been able to see before from Predator action, and I'm certainly more excited for Predator Badlands now than I was 2 days ago. The first story, The Shield, is 841 AD with the Vikings. I love the lead protagonist who's trying to avenge her father. I love the shield blades, using shields as a weapon as well as a shield was pretty cool, pretty visually engaging. And right away you get the positioning of the tech reliance that the Predators have and using that tech against them. In this first story, it's the handheld pulse, cannon type propulsive weapon that the Predator is using. I love the anchor use as the fight concludes as well. The second story, The Sword, is Japan 1609, Tokugawa shogunate era. We have these 2 brothers that come at odds. One leaves the family, jump ahead 20 years later, and the estranged brother is trying to plot or sneak in to kill his brother ascending the throne, we assume, before they have to team up to fight against the Predator. And I think what's always fun too of these stories is watching the Predator just kind of observe the human action, taking it all in stealth mode up on high before they jump in to, clean it all up, which is always so funny too, because the Predators are doing this for sport, this hunting, this killing of killers, right? And yet they're always ambushing and have a huge tech advantage. It's kind of amusing that their cultural desire to be these great hunters, even though it's never a fair fight when they're doing it. Once again, you have the tech reliance the Predator used against it. In this case, its own bombs with its handheld chain launcher. I think the castle complex was pretty visually cool as well. This story has almost no spoken words at all, but still I think is pretty powerful in what it's trying to convey here. And then lastly, we have The Bullet, which starts off in Florida in 1941 before we get shipped off to 42 with a mechanic, John Torres, who's very talkative, is a huge shift from the previous episode. And I think this is one that's probably the hokiest, right? For starters, the whole chain of command with the U.S. military was very unrealistic with how that was conveyed. But it was cool to see Predator action, human versus Predator, when it's all shipbound. Literally, trying to fly against the Predator's ship and all its abilities and using its heat signature reliance against it. This one also was pretty cool, all things considered. I thought flying through the flak as a way to damage the Predator ship was pretty clever. And then you get to what's been alluded to, because each of the stories was ending with seeing the lead protagonist with some kind of collar around them. We realize that these survivors who have all defeated a Predator are getting picked up and captured by the Predators and returned to their home planet or somewhere out in space. And there's this grand arena, gladiator fight set up where they're going to fight to the death and then have the privilege of fighting the lead king Predator guy. And they're able to team up despite the language barrier that they all face. And I think they survive and escape in a really fun way. And at the end, you get some of the really fun Easter eggs where we realize that the reason they're there, the reason that a Viking, a 1600s ninja, and a World War II pilot, they're all alive. They've been put in like some kind of cryosleep of some kind. And obviously, this is setting up a future sequel with this front. I think a Predator animated franchise makes a lot of sense. By all means, make more. Cool. But then you get like some fun references, one of which is the lead character of 2022's Prey, Naru, played by Amber Midthunder. She's there in crowd. She's already been picked up. There's a possibility to do more with her character, which would be super cool. There's also some nods to Alien vs. Predator, which might be returning. The crossover might be coming back. Also, just in terms of general Predator lore, John Torres, the weapon he's given in the arena, is the flintlock pistol from 1715, which was, of course, famously given as a gift, as a sign of respect in Predator 2. And we actually learn about the origin of that pistol in Prey. And now here it is once again, a weapon that moves throughout time, similar to the cat's paw dagger in Game of Thrones and whatnot. So yeah, I think this was quite satisfying, and I think visually certainly up to the task, had a lot of creativity in its choreography, and yeah, Predator, let's keep it going. And ultimately, I think the success of Predator as a franchise moving forward is going to lie with Badlands and its theatrical release and the ceiling of that, right? Like we saw Alien Romulus have a lot of success last year. And these are not like monster billion-dollar franchise type grossers, but they're successful and dependable. And we'll see now, can Predator do that? Because the last time the Predator was theatrically released was the Shane Black version in 2018, which did not do well. So lots riding on that movie, but I'm looking forward to it. Dan Trachtenberg at this point is kind of like the creative arbiter, the soul of the franchise. I think he's done a great job thus far, 2 movies in. We'll see what the third one does in the fall. Let me know, though, what you think of Predator Killer of Killers, what you like most about it. And for more movie reviews, subscribe. And I'll see you next time.